Building up a brand that some people will passionately love means that others might possibly hate it. So why take the risk? I'm MarketingSherpa reporter Courtney Eckerle here in the MarketingSherpa Media Center at IRCE, and with me is Eoin Comerford, who's the CEO of Moosejaw. So Eoin, why take the risk?
Well, I mean, really, what it comes down to is, do you want a brand that people will care about, right? And if you try to be all things to all people, you're really nothing to nobody, because they're just not going to care. You're just vanilla, right? So to create that kind of passion, that kind of engagement with your customer base, you have to be willing to understand that you're going to piss some people off too, or at least disengage other people with that kind of focused approach.
What are some examples of how Moosejaw has done that?
Well, I mean, we've definitely stepped outside of the bounds sometimes. I mean, one of my personal favorites is the Moosejaw breakup service. And I think actually you guys did a little case study on that. But it was a lot of fun. So basically what we did was send out an email to our customers and said, hey, we know that a lot of you are chicken, right? You're in relationships you shouldn't really be in, but you're just too chicken to get out of them. So we're going to help you out. So just send us an email with the person's phone number. We also want the 3 reasons why you're breaking up with them, and then three nice things about them to kind of soften the blow, and we'll take it from there. So we thought we'd get maybe 10, 15 people to do this. We said we'd cut it off at 50. We ultimately had to cut it off at 250, and we had our customer service people were making these calls, and it was just hilarious. I mean, some of them were definitely pranks, buddies pranking each other or whatever, but there were definitely real people that really were broken up with by Moosejaw. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
It is pretty risky to call your customers chicken.
Yes, well, they can't take it.
So what are some of the ways that you then used that service, that one-time service, to engage customers?
Well, I think just engaging at that sort of a personal level, those people that we did it with will never forget that, and they're going to tell 10 friends about that. I mean, can you imagine the person who got broken up with by Moosejaw? That's probably like a bar story for life, right? And so just that engagement and that word of mouth that comes from it, or just even people talking about it here at Internet Retailer, it's priceless.
And you created content from that, correct?
Yes, we've got video that's out there, and everything that we do, we try and create a little bit of a lasting, aspect to it as well. And sometimes it's just ephemeral. It's just something that happens through social, and then it's gone. But we definitely try and leverage it as much as we can.
So when you're talking with your team and trying to come up with an innovative or creative idea like that, what's your process?
It's, I wish I could tell you we had some incredibly scientific way to do it, but it's really just a bunch of really smart, creative people sitting around a room and throwing ideas up in the air, and sometimes it'll just be, that's it, or that's crazy. A lot of the times actually we get halfway down the path and then there's a legal issue. So that's happened. We were going to do this one app called Spot a Hottie. So that was going to be our app. This was like 4 years ago, and so we had it all set. And what it basically was you would just you were in a bar, you take a picture of someone you think is hot, and then you just post it, right? And then it would become sort of this. If you then, as the user of the app, you could look and see where like the heat map of hotness was in your local area. So here's the bar where all the hotties are. So it seemed like a great idea. It probably would have been a great idea until we got sued by people who we were sharing their likeness. So. Oh well. So yes.
So besides legal issues, how do you decide where the line is with your customers and how forgiving they'll be with you?
It's it's hard. It's a judgment call, and I wish I could tell you that we got it right all the time, but we don't. And I think one of the key things is that you have to be willing to sometimes piss more people off than you actually want to. And not beat people up over it, right? Because if you tell people, hey, we want to do all this great stuff, and then as soon as something goes wrong, you throw them under the bus, that doesn't work either. So, you have to be willing to fail fast and move on, and learn from your mistakes.
Do you have an example of a misstep you made in a campaign, or?
Yeah, a few. Probably one of my favorites, because it was totally my fault, was. I read all of the internet, articles and whatever, and so there's this great article about how well Obama raised money with these really direct, kind of spammy emails. Want to have dinner with Barack, and you'd go in there and it would be text links and highlighted and underlined, and all ways to get money for the campaign. So I thought this was a great idea. So I sent it off to our email folks and said, we should do something with this. So what we decided was, what we're going to do is we're going to do this really sort of spammy type email, but we're going to say that the subject line was, it worked for Obama, and then we talk about how these spam emails work, and then check out our winter clearance sale, right? So we thought it was very clever. Well, apparently politics and retail don't mix, because we pissed everybody off. Because we pissed off the people who love Obama because we said he was spammy, and then we pissed off all the people that hate Obama because we said that he did something that was great. So don't do that.
So you have to take those missteps and wash them away, move on to the next idea.
Exactly.
Without fear.
Without fear, no fear.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. It's been fantastic chatting with you about these.
Not at all. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. If you want more tips, tactics, and case studies, please visit MarketingSherpa.com.